Here we are, back together again. It's time to talk about the issues at hand. You say what you say, just say what you feel. It's the door.
And regular conversations with regular people. There's no experts here. So everybody's opinion is validated. Okay?
It's an open conversation.
To another open conversation. Today we're going to be having a men empowerment series where we talk about different topics about men health, relationships, and things of that nature. But before we get there, let's introduce you to the crazy open conversation staff. You know, I'm your man Simply J, sitting on my right.
It's your girl Liz.
And on my left,
Martin, the fast lane of homeownership.
we got a couple of guests in the studio with us today. Sitting at the table is one of Philly's housewives, and your name is?
Nafisa Daniels.
All right, that's what's up. You want to join us today at the table, huh?
Yes, I am. Hoping I can hang with the men.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. So, I'm going to introduce to the rest of our guests to you. Starting on my right, we have
Calvin Cannon.
comedian Malcolm Hill. And on the left,
Singer Dominique Devine.
And I'm Kev Johnson.
all right, welcome, gentlemen, to Open Conversation.
Thank you.
Today, we want to talk about men's health, men's and like different things that affect men in the health. I think the ladies have some questions for us, but one of the things we want to touch bases on is like prostate cancer. How does it affect men and things of this nature? What you got from Liz?
I guess when we came up with this topic, my main question was, why is it, and I know in the black community, because that's where I'm from, so I can't speak for any other community, but why is it so hard for men to, I know I'm black, I'm just a little light, but I'm black. Why is it so difficult for black men to go to the doctors? Like, why do they need pushing or wait to, they're like on their deathbed to go to the doctors, or do you guys go regular checkups? Like, what's your stories?
To me, I think a lot of men don't want to live with knowing of the problem. You rather not pay attention to it instead of saying, "Oh man, I got such and such, so now I'm gonna be miserable at the party." They just say when it comes up.
At the party.
When it comes up, you don't want to be like, you don't want to come to the doctor and you got a big birthday bash tomorrow and you come out the doctor and be like, man, you got 7 days to live, just as an example. So you don't want to go. So you just wait till after the party.
What?
Hey,
What
we don't want to try to live their life now. People try to live their life now instead of trying to see what the problem is and then be all miserable for the rest of the whatever.
But okay, so basically you saying you have a symptom, you know, let's talk about your let me not go there. Let me not go there.
I'm sitting here talking to you. I think I need to check that out, but anything else, we don't want to really try to see until later on.
Well, what about preventative health, Calvin?
Yes.
Well, a lot of times, a lot of men, just like Malcolm said, they don't want to know, you know, so, and they hear like the different things of, you know, the different technical doctor techniques that they got to do to try to detect this. They don't want to go through it. So in other words,
you don't want to go to the doctors and have a male doctor, woman doctor, whatever, grab your testes and tell you to cough. Is that really what you're saying?
I'm okay with that as long as it's not female doctor. You know, I mean, you can grab my cough all day, but a lot of times, but a lot of times, a lot of men don't want to go through what the procedures are because they're nervous, scared, and they just don't want to deal with it. So they kind of like, you know, shine away from it, which is wrong.
I'm not getting a rectal exam until they figure out another way to do it.
The
technology is getting faster. When they catch up to what needs to be done, then I go in there. I can't go in there with the old form of the way they trying to check. I'm gonna wait until the new tech, they got all the Instagram, they got all this stuff. Somebody got to come out with a new way to get a checkup.
Yo, would you
Maybe take
rather?
a
Lasers
picture,
instead of
take a
phones,
picture
you know?
from a far distance something, but not the way they
How
doing
somebody
it.
gonna see inside your rectum
They-
from afar
they-
with a
They're not
picture?
gonna do it the way they doing.
So you can see inside the house right now.
That's
from a
why,
satellite,
you know
so-
what, that's, you're right.
Technology is
Well-
very fast.
Well, it's a bit unfortunate, but the old ways of doing things, I think we've been locked into a whole bunch of stereotypes about what health is and about how to prevent problems. We in our community, we definitely go the wrong way about it. If you think that being evasive and not actually addressing the simple problem, a simple checkup, is going to make you live longer, you're fooling yourself. You're really fooling yourself. The problems with rectal examinations, the problems with going down your esophagus with a tube, we make these assumptions that they're so invasive that, oh my God, my pride is going, I can't have this. I can't have nobody ever know that somebody went up my rectum
I
with.
couldn't look at the doctor again.
It's not about,
He trying to bait you.
but it's not about looking at the doctor. It's about looking at your health. It's about looking at your family. It's about looking at everything that you've gotten so far and where you want to go next. These things, a colonoscopy, you have to have them done. When we get to certain ages, like me, I'm over 50 now, right? I have to have checkups because I have no idea what the hell is going to go on later on, and I don't want to be blindsided like I would be in a relationship and find out somebody else is hitting old girl and I don't know nothing about it. My health is more important to me than to say the old stereotype of, well, ain't nobody going up there. Ain't nobody.
Any exam, I'll take any exam, but that exam, they got to get some new technology with that. They got
The
all
fact-
kinds of cameras.
Well, hold
But-
on, you're asleep, so you're on anesthesia.
Yeah, you're under
Yeah,
anesthesia.
oh, okay.
You have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Oh, okay.
It's like, okay, I had a rectal hernia, and in order for it to be fixed, they had to go in and do it surgically. So what they did is they put me under anesthesia. Now the doc told me, he said, listen, you're gonna count to 10, we're gonna drug you up and count to 1 from 10, and by the time you get to 7, you won't be able to count no more, you'll be asleep. Well, I made it down to 2, right? But let me tell you something, I was so much better after they cut me, after they stitched me, after they did everything that they needed to do to get my
All right.
backside back in condition, right? Because actually,
So they put you to sleep when they doing the.
when they do
blood
all
exam.
this, when you get
too, you sleep.
No, not the
I'm
regular
process.
I'm talking about the rectal.
the rectal examination,
No.
when you get the colonoscopy,
Now, why you gotta be sleep with that thing and not sleep with the other?
and I said, what?
Because
Like you said, you sleep with both.
You go, oh, they put you to sleep with
No,
both?
the thing.
Well,
No,
colonoscopy,
not
yeah.
with the rectal exam, you still.
No.
wide
No,
open.
no, you're under anesthesia with a
Oh, okay.
colonoscopy.
Oh, okay.
You don't know what's going on.
Oh, yeah, that's different.
And I believe that because a lot of young men don't know the knowledge of
Right,
it
yes,
and the
right,
history of
yeah.
it, that's where we get the myths.
Right.
And that's what's
I thought you
misleading
was
us
wide
and
open.
directing us.
But I don't think.
Go about educating yourself
I
about
don't think that it, I think it's more to what you guys were saying as far as, it's that like, you know, don't ask, don't tell, like kind of the thing, like the whole military and the gay thing, like you just don't want to find out something, like Malcolm was saying that there's something wrong, you know, so you don't, if you got a cough, you know you've been smoking for 20 years, you got a cough, you know, like my dad smoked weed all of my life and cigarettes. He wasn't a drinker, wasn't a partier person. He's on oxygen now for the rest of his life because of that. When he first found out, he was darn near dying. He had a collapsed lung. He survived a brain aneurysm, all of that stuff. He didn't know he had a blood clot in his head because he never went to the doctor. And true story, he was having sex and it erupted, like literally on top of this woman. Like,
You wouldn't know to do that.
and luckily he was with her
It might not have
because
been
it
good.
saved his life.
My man
Because
going
had he
at the same
been
time.
my,
Well now.
okay.
Well,
I'm
now.
my daddy now, like, look, I got it. It took
gotta
no months
go.
to tell me what
That's where you
happened.
go.
Yeah.
But because of that, he, you know, after they finally told me months later, because they thought I was gonna like beat the woman up or something, like it was her fault, but it wasn't. But thank God he was with her, because many people don't survive a brain aneurysm, a blood clot erupting, and you know. But had he gotten routine checkups, he would know that there was a blood clot, you know,
See,
there.
most of us feel as though, as long as we can get up, we can function, I'm fine. So you got a little pain here, oh, it'll go away. You know what I'm saying? I got a pain in my knee, it just, you know, came from when I was playing football, basketball, whatever, it'll go away. Don't worry about it. As long as we can still function, and we're gonna still keep doing what we need to do until we actually are on deathbed or falling apart, then that's when you may go to the doctor or.
But it's too late then.
Right, but, you know, we've done everything we needed to do. We've lived our life, so now we just accept whatever is.
You know what?
Well, I'm saying that's how some men think.
Being
So
stubborn.
I think that's selfish.
Being
Say
stubborn.
what, yeah.
But see, that's the that's the stigmatism and the old stereotype that we've fallen prey to for so long. Like when I was just discussing
Right.
my case, the fact of the matter is that when you have that type of hernia that I had, your intestines are actually falling down into your scrotum.
Okay.
So what I'm saying
and
is,
you're in
what
pain,
I'm saying
right?
is, you're in total
In pain.
pain,
Right.
and regardless of whether you think, regardless of whether you think or not that you know you're facing some type of you know cultural setback of somebody saying, well, man, you had them go up in you like that,
or you weak because you going to the doctor.
right?
You
Or
got a little
or
ache
you
and
read.
pain, you know
The
what
fact
I
of the
mean?
matter is, like we so often want to say is, the stronger person is the one that can stand on his own. You don't need to be a sheep and follow everybody else. So when you go to the doctor, you're actually you're standing on your own. You're doing the right thing for you, your family, and everybody that cares about you. Now, we've all heard the horror stories about what they do to us, because they've used us as guinea pigs for such a long period of time, and everything that, you know, that we thought was right isn't right. But the fact of the matter is, more often than not, if you go there to get yourself checked out, you're doing yourself a whole lot better. You're doing yourself more better than you would not if you did.
So I got another question. Do you think, does anybody or everybody on the panel think that because, especially in the black community where a lot of us work part-time, don't have health insurance, do you think that plays a big factor into why men don't go to the doctors?
Yes.
I think
No.
so.
No.
It's not bad.
Men, we grow up with the mentality that if something is hurt, you put a little dirt on it, a little spit on it, it's gonna go away.
You just showed your age. Tell me.
You kind of live through it. We don't run to the doctor for everything
Right.
because it's just not us. It's not the manly thing to do. That's what we grow up with, the mentality that we believe that we don't need to go to the doctor. The only time we go to the doctor is if we sick or we die. Other than that, we are.
Yeah, it's gonna go away. We believe it's gonna
And
always
some
go
don't
away.
go, like
Right.
getting back to my dad and him leading up having to be on oxygen. You know, the first time the doctor was like, you gotta stop smoking, Mr. Watson, blah, blah, blah. He stopped smoking cigarettes. He didn't cut the weed. He was like, I'm not stopping smoking weed. Like, that's not gonna happen.
But see,
A
even
year
with-
later, yeah, about almost exactly to the date, a year later, I had to rush him to the hospital. You know, he's in there telling the doctor he's smoking weed because of medicinal purpose. He's like, cause my eyes. Hey, dude, ain't nothing wrong with your eyes. You know what I mean? But now he can't do none of it. And he had to leave his job abruptly because he didn't do what he needed to do to prevent from having a lung of oxygen. That's no joke.
But
So now
it
it's
wasn't
the
the
consequences.
marijuana that made his system go bad. His system was already bad by the time the doctor told him to stop smoking. You know, it don't just
Kinda
happen
true.
just
Right.
because
Right.
But had he stopped the year before, like everything,
it might have prolonged it, but it
he wouldn't have
was-
been on oxygen.
It was eventually going to happen because smoking tobacco
But see,
over a long period of time will start to make all of your organs on the
I have
inside.
an uncle,
turn
how you
black.
live your life is how it's gonna be. I have an uncle that was on and off crack. A lot of people in this room know what we talk about. He's on and off crack. And like I told him years ago, I said, the fun that you're having smoking this crack is at a high level. Years later, the pain that you're gonna have is gonna be at that same level. He's now at that stage now of that level. His lungs, his kidneys, everything messed up. I said, everything you're doing now, you're having fun,
You gotta
partying,
pay for it.
having sex with the
It's
white
a cost.
women, all that
It's always
is
a
gonna
cost.
be
High five. See?
turning to the opposite way, where your body is gonna be just as fun as you was having, it's gonna be just as much pain as you're gonna be getting.
But see,
And he's at the pain stage right
We
now.
don't, we
as
don't,
speak.
we don't care, we don't think about that
Shout out to him.
when we're doing.
You see that on
Gotta give him a shot. I try to tell you.
Get off the crack.
Because we're having too much fun and we're enjoying it. Your father was enjoying that weed, so
Oh, yeah.
he wasn't going to
As
stop.
fun as you gonna have,
His
it's gonna be the
uncle
total
is
opposite.
enjoying that crack, so he wasn't going to stop. Whatever you're doing, you're enjoying
How
it.
you live your life is how you
So
gonna be.
you're not going to just up and stop just because the doctor say, "Oh well, if you don't, man, please, I'm having too much fun."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay, but,
But I think that's,
Well, we're gonna go to commercial and then we're gonna come back right back to what your thought.
well, not
and-
feces.
Not feces. We'll be right
I
back
don't
after
remember.
this.
Write it down, not feces.
Hi, I'm Marvin Lane with Remax Affiliates Northeast Philly. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, I would love to be the man to represent you. We have programs that are suited for each and every one of your needs. If you're a previous homeowner or a first-time home buyer. So remember, one call does it all. You can reach me at 267-546-8888 or look me up on the web at www.marvinlane.com where you can search for a home, find out how much the house will cost you, and a few other things. You can take advantage of our mortgage calculator, which will help and assist you at figuring out your mortgage payment as well. Just remember, one call does it all. That's Marvin, the fast lane to home ownership. 267-546-8888. I look forward to hearing from you soon.
Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Kenny Nelson, aka Kenny Spoon. Yeah, I'm still doing that music thing. But when I'm not doing music, I tune into Sador's Open Conversation. That's right, www.sador.com. www.sadior.com. Yeah, there's something there for everybody, and everybody can participate. It's worldwide, inquisitive, funny, and full of love for everyone. So check it out. www.sador.com. All right? All right. Peace.
We back. Man, I'm telling you, I should be here when we go to commercial. It's off the chain.
Got basketball.
So before we went to commercial, somebody had a question that they wanted to ask.
But my question was really towards Kevin as he was sharing his situation. My initial thought was, prior to that situation, did you have symptoms? Did you go to the doctor when you had symptoms, or did you do kind of like what we're discussing here today? Most men wait till you get to worst case scenario, and then you're forced to have to take care of it.
Well, honestly, I can say that the pain was so excruciating right from the start that it didn't take me any time to make up my mind. I went into the doctor and I talked with him, and he gave me two options. You can either he said, I can give you some pills, it'll alleviate the pain, but you'll always have it. Or I can cut you, and we can fix it right then and there. At that particular point in time, I got 3 kids at that time. Cut me, doc. Get this over with. Just get this over with. I can't live like this. Because it was getting to a point where I couldn't even get out of a chair. And it happened so fast. Because I think it came from me picking up an air conditioner, moving it out the window, and going back and forth to work. Next thing you know, I had to be like in about 2 weeks. I'm like, yo, this is.
It was picking up that air conditioner?
Yeah.
I got you.
I knew it.
It wasn't. For all those out there in the land, it was the air conditioner. It wasn't. Oh,
Yes.
You had a thought.
Well, I was gonna say
I
that.
had many thoughts, but go ahead, Calvin.
Liz was saying about the medical coverage, is that, I totally agree with everybody saying, that, that you have to get to the doctors, and once you get there, at that point, you need service. But if you don't have the medical coverage to continue to go back and forth to the doctors, a lot of men seem to ignore that. So, I mean, yeah, they may take that initial step, they get checked out, doc say what it is, but the job that they have, even if they have a job or no job, they can't afford to get the medication, they can't afford to keep going back and forth, they get the services they need to try to provide for them. So I think at that point, they kind of ignore it and say, well, you know what, it's really not that bad. Things get worse.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, as we were discussing during the commercial break, my original thought when I asked that question was because a lot of men had to take jobs that, either didn't offer coverage. Health coverage is expensive. And people are so, and I'm not going to get all into Obamacare because that's a whole nother show, but people are so busy, like, putting it down or focusing on the negatives, but at least it's affording for people that never was able to afford, $80 to come out of every paycheck, and that's just for one person. For one man, that's just for him. If he has, like Kev, 3 kids, I know Calvin has a couple, Malcolm has about 10, so, I mean, it's hard for him to afford health coverage. No, he doesn't really, I'm just kidding. For the ladies that might be just joking. But, like, it's hard for you to afford coverage for your whole family. You coming home with 2 cents in your paycheck.
Right.
So you have to go with not having that coverage. Going to the doctors is expensive. And I know guys who, like, they like, man, look, I'm going to wait till it's so bad I got to go to the emergency room. I'm going to get that bill.
When you're younger,
and then I'm going to go into, collections because I can't afford, you know what I mean? So that was my thought
when
behind
you're
that
younger,
question.
you don't realize how important the health care. You rather have the check, money,
Right.
than the benefits, because you feel as though, oh, I'm in good shape. I don't care about no benefits. I don't want no benefits. Matter of fact, give me the money. Y'all keep the benefits.
Yeah, I'm young.
I'm never gonna get sick.
But I think that, and going back to Kevin's statement originally about the male pride and things like that, I think of it as like generational curses. And although it's not necessarily family, it's family because of our heritage and where we come from and how we come to be where we are today. That we got to start sharing the information with the young people coming up behind us. That don't make the same mistake that I made. Like, I know growing up in my family, whatever happened in the house, it stayed in the house. So, when my grandmother died of cancer, we didn't know until she was dying.
Right.
There was a process that she kept to herself because of that same mentality. I'm strong. I got a family to take care of. I can't afford, health insurance. I don't have health insurance. So therefore, I can't afford the doctor's bill. And so I guess I say all that to say, had she been open with my mom then that would have been breaking that generational curse, who would have
Of
then
course.
been open with me. And so now I find that I am fighting it all by myself because she's now suffering the consequences of her life. But in me rearing a son, I'm teaching him at an early age, don't just take any old job. And it goes back to getting an education so you don't be forced to take any
Exactly.
old job, because you need
gotta
some
think
type of
about
health
health,
benefits.
yeah,
You need
definitely.
security, because you want to take care of yourself. If
I mean-
that knee from the basketball injury don't get taken care of now, that knee will haunt you in your later 20s. When you hit 30s, it's going to become like your neighbor. When you hit 40, it's going to be your roommate.
Yeah.
So,
But
It's-
it
Go
think
ahead.
like it's a thing of pride, like some men don't want to go because of their pride. Like, I know one guy, I know he could have probably afford health care, but Gregory Hines, when he discovered that he had cancer, he didn't tell any of his family, anyone. And he, made out his will and everything, and when he died, everybody was shocked. Nobody knew that he had cancer. So do you think like maybe it's a thing of pride, like you don't want to tell because you don't want pity?
My
You
grandma
don't,
was
either
also
you don't want
disappointed.
pity, or you don't want to worry, your family. But whatever it is, like, to me, I run to the doctor. I don't give. I break a nail and hurt, I'm going. Like, I don't do pain. This is how I am, But I've watched like my grandfather died of hemorrhaging to death. He, we knew nothing was wrong until the day my father found, you know what I mean? And it's like, my grandmother's a nurse, like, and he never said a word.
My grandmother used to take insulin, and I never knew she had anything. And when I came in the room one time, I seen her taking a needle. I'm like, what is she taking a needle? And come to find out, she had diabetes or whatever as I got older. But
So it's like,
she never said nothing, this is what's going on.
That's that old
She would
teaching.
say, go out in the other room.
yeah, it's like that
and
learned
she would take
behavior.
needles.
Yes.
And then you got men, black men in our community who feel like, I gotta be strong, I'm the provider of the family, I can't show weakness, and it is learned, generational to me.
And it's unfortunate because really, I go back to what I premised earlier. If you're going to be a strong individual, you're going to have to learn to stand on your own. And even being in our community, as all of us around this table, no, we're the leader of something, whether it's our household, our family, or a team, or whatever it is. The fact of the matter is, you have to take responsibility for yourself, because your actions, your decision making, and everything that you do, it does not only affect you, it affects everyone else that knows you.
High five.
High five.
And
So
because
wait, all right,
the reason why, because
21.
okay, so I want to hear from somebody that's 21, because these is old
Yeah, we
dudes
always
here.
do.
These are old heads right here, right?
Wait a minute now.
I'm only 28.
First of all, we
They gonna
grew up from
Photoshop
around
this.
each other.
They gonna Photoshop this. They gonna Photoshop this.
make you all nice and
Thank
thick.
you all, get rid of the gray hair, whatever. But like, what is your take on healthcare and men? And do you go to the doctors? Like,
Well, my mom always made sure I went to the doctors. So that, like,
so my
growing
mom
up,
is-
yeah, that,
That's good. She breaking the curse. She breaking the
Did she
curse.
make you go?
But I joined the military at 17.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and joining the military, I was told, drink water. I was like, oh, my knee hurt. Drink water, pride. Oh, my arm hurt or something. Drink water. Water fixed everything.
Wow.
Water fixed everything.
Okay.
Water fixed everything. So it's like, y'all talk about, that pride and everything. That we had to have that soldier's pride. Don't stop running until you can't run no more. And that's how it was.
It's true. I seen the tape where as though water was the answer to everything.
No, it really,
No, seriously.
seriously,
It was
in
saying, drink water is the
they
answer
tell
to
you to drink water for everything, and they'll tell you don't
I've seen
stop
the
running
video.
until you can't. If you don't fall out, you can still run.
But I think that's
Great,
different.
but
What's that?
Where were you in?
Army.
Yeah, see, I'm from the Navy, it's the same thing.
See, I think that's different.
Disciplinary reaction.
Yeah, because you're out in the front lines at war, so there's no time to be like, oh, I got a splinter. Like, no, you had, and that's not just for men, that's for women too. But I think that the same when you come home, and they're doing it in a lot of areas with our vets, but I don't think they're touching on that, teaching our vets that, okay, it's time to somewhat turn off the military teaching, and put on the civilian teaching.
It's not as easy.
I know that. That's why I said teaching, because in teaching it's a process. I recognize that completely. But that if something hurts you now that you're home, go get it taken care of. Water doesn't just solve it, because the goal is for you to
He probably took
live
like
long
a whole
and
gallon of water.
healthy.
I'm good.
I know, but not, you don't want to live to be like 80 and all broke up and can't drive.
Right,
but
I said that because people go about that way with life. You know what I'm saying? They keep running. You know, men, we keep running until we can't run no more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's-
like driving the
that's
car,
right.
you know your gas tank is on empty.
And you'll
still
keep
drive.
going
Go past
until
like
you-
4 gas stations, until I get close to the house and then go to the gas station.
But then you cut the car out when
Yes.
the car stops on the street. Yeah.
And then you run out of gas on Lincoln Drive.
Yeah.
But you know what? One of the most positive things, though, on two aspects of it, of working and then being an entrepreneur, not working. A lot of jobs make you get annual physicals now,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
to keep your insurance level down. So that's a plus as a man, because I know for myself, you know, coming up, you know, my mom made me go to the doctors as well, but once I, you know, got into my own life and my own direction, I didn't go as often. But now, with my job, I want a choice.
Yeah.
I have to go twice a month, twice a year, drug test twice a year, so now it's forcing me to get inside the doctor's office.
Right.
So when I get in there, you know, I'm talking to her. Of course, it has to be a female. So I'm talking to her,
Of
and letting her know
course.
what's going on,
It has to be a
and,
female.
and she will check me out. But
He doesn't
however,
walk out of his account. Okay.
had I not had that job, I probably would not have gone to the doctors twice a year.
Yeah.
So, and now my medical coverage is, it's not cheap. I mean, it's still expensive, but it would be probably double or triple that because I don't get this.
Well, I know
annual
a lot
stuff.
of jobs now, like, won't, like you were saying, if you don't, or if you refuse that, they won't offer you that coverage, you
Correct.
know? Or it's at such a high rate that you are left like, okay, I'll have no choice. Because it, like, if you were, say, like, a lot of jobs, like my job, if you were tobacco-free, then you get a $10 cut every, you know, off of your rate or
You
whatever.
know, the discount, correct.
You know, you get that
They start
discount.
hiring people that's smoking now. I heard that some jobs, if they know that you
Yeah.
smoke, they're not gonna hire you.
University.
Children's hospital too.
Yeah.
Because you're
Or
at risk.
children's, one of them,
You
yeah.
know, because you're at risk. I mean, and the other side of that coin is that, you know, the medical field now gives you a cushion or a stipend to use. So if you're a married man with a family, that stipend may be $3,000 a year that you can use that it'll cover. So if I have 2 children, well, I might not be as eager to go to use that stipend because if one of my children gets sick, I want to make sure that I have that cushion for them because I'm providing for them. You know, and then if you don't have that job and you're an entrepreneur, it's even worse.
Right.
Medical
Yeah.
coverage probably 5-6 times that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's tough out here. You know, especially for a man, not only black male, but you know, white male and Asian male. It's tough out here for men in general if you don't have a job. You know, and females. I'm
Do
sorry.
y'all think that, based on today, because you guys, except for him, you know, are all older,
So you got to keep saying. Keep saying that. They get it.
y'all all are a certain age. You know,
I wear mine proud. All right, I wear mine proud.
No, but we all, everybody here, except for him, grew up, you know, in this. Do you think? All right, I'm sorry. But do you think now men are a little bit more proactive in their health care than back in the day?
Yes.
Yes, just because of what my, Calvin just stated.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I tend to disagree.
Okay.
The reason I say I tend to disagree is because I think the culture is still what it is. It's just that the enormity of the amount of people. You would think that more of us per 100 go, but I guarantee the numbers are probably still the same. It's still down there. It's just more people now that are going, that are here. So if it was 500 when we were coming through and only 5 went, it may be 1,500 now and only 15 go. You see what I'm saying? The number may be the
I'm
more
saying-
people,
I
but
just,
but the apathy and the mindset is still the same for some reason.
Yeah, now I
They
think that
don't
is-
want to change this attitude about getting checked out. And right now, to be honest, it's up to us. It's up to this older generation.
I feel like.
This more learned, more wisdom-filled generation.
I like
that.
You know what I'm saying? It's up
Yes.
to
Yes.
us to make these changes. It's up to us to be more persuasive to the
Mhm.
younger group. It's up to, because listen, we're gonna get older to a point where they're gonna have to take care of us. And I'm telling you,
I'm not looking forward to that.
no, not at all, because the decision-making process and the attitude
Yeah.
that's going on with it now,
Mm.
I'm gonna say this before we close up. I think that, I agree with you to a certain extent. I think that the numbers aren't that different, but I think it's for different reasons. I think now with the economy the way it is, so many, not just men, but women, people out of work, period, they can't afford to go, you know. So the death rate, and not just, you know, our black community, but just in men, period, you know, because of that, you got lawyers working as waitresses or waiters now, you know, so for, you know, $3 an hour plus their tips. So I think the dynamics have changed so much in society that it's not, I'm not going because of pride anymore. Like, my leg is about to fall off, but I can't afford to go. You know what I mean? Or I don't know where to turn. And as they close up, you know, they cut so many men off of welfare, no more food stamps, health care, none of that. It's like, boom, it was done. It was a wrap. So you got all these people out on the streets, men who have families, they don't know, you know, what to do. I think the dynamics changed and why they're not. It's not so much more of a pride thing. I think it's, I can't afford it. I'm gonna turn it back over to you because that's all I got to say on that.
Well, I'd just like to say this before we wrap this up. If you haven't gotten checked, please do yourself, your family, your wife, girlfriend, your kids, whoever, a favor and get yourself checked.
Yep.
One, prostate cancer is the leading cause of death in the United States in men. But there's a 5-year survival rate of 99%. They do have technology to help you fix the problem through medications, through surgery if they detect it too late in life or whatever. Get yourself checked, find out what's going on with you so that you can be around, make the cautious decision, not just for yourself, but for your family. I'd like to thank everyone that was here today. This has been an interesting conversation. And welcome, thank you for tuning in to Open Conversation. We hope to see you at another event. Peace. Peace.
I know you wasn't sure if you wanted to rap. Hey, listen, if you want to be Ricky, that's fine. You might go to jail and be pretty Ricky in a minute.
Oh.
You follow what I'm saying? So the consequences that we need to show them so they can see.
It's like you never see a retired drug dealer, like, say, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm retired off this, and I got this house. The cops know about me, I got this big house, and you never see him retired.
Here we are, back together again. It's time to talk about the issues at hand. You say what you say, say what you say, just say what you feel. It's a door, and we're gonna keep it real. It's an open conversation.